Hello everyone, today we're going to be learning about the number plane. This is the last section of work in our computation with negative integers topic, and our goal today is to be able to plot and label points on the Cartesian plane. It's called the Cartesian plane because it's named after this cool guy called Descartes, who kind of came up with the number plane a really long time ago. And so we want to be able to plot and label points if we're given coordinates, including some that are not integers, and we want to be able to find coordinates for a point. Okay, so before we do any of this, we need to know what coordinate means, what point means. Okay, so the number plane has some key features, so we're going to have a look at them here. A number plane has something called an x-axis. The x-axis is the horizontal axis. We call these lines here axes. So this is called the x-axis, the horizontal one here, and the vertical one here is called the y-axis. Okay, so kind of think y to the sky. That's a good way to remember it. Y to the sky. So maybe write down some of these key notes in your book. You don't need to write all of them down, as these notes will be on Connect. But you do need to do the examples in your book drawing up the number planes. So just as an idea for you, this might be the first time you're seeing this. When you've got a point, for example, 2, 5, the thing on the left is always the x coordinate or the x value. And this is where we always start first along the horizontal. Okay, so if we've got 2, 5, 2 would be the x, so we go to 2 here on the x, and we go up 5 spots, and there's the 0.25 there. Okay, so keep in mind x always comes first, and then the second value is the y value. Okay, here are some key points that you need to know and learn. The two axes intersect at a point here. We call that point the origin, called 0, 0. The horizontal axis we said is the x-axis, vertical is the y-axis. The x coordinate is always before the y. Okay, so just think about alphabetical order, x before y. So y to the sky, x before y. Helpful little rhyme. A coordinate, what is a coordinate? Well, a coordinate is a point on the number plane and that point is made up of an x and then a y value, okay? And then it's like a grid reference point. So we see these in street maps or in theme park maps, you'll have a grid reference, okay? Some other key features. Well, there are 4 quadrants to a number plane and they go anti-clockwise this way. The one on the right is the first quadrant, left, top left, second quadrant, bottom left, third quadrant, bottom right, fourth quadrant. Okay, so keep that in mind. Some other key patterns are that if you're in the first quadrant over here, all of your values, both x and y coordinates, will be positive. So it doesn't matter where you are in here, all of the x values and y values will be positive. In the second, you'll have x values negative and y values positive. In the third, you'll have negative and negative. And in the fourth, you'll have positive and negative. Okay, so you might want to write down something like this. Your coordinate will look like this, positive and positive, negative and positive in the second, in the third, negative and negative, and in the fourth, you'll have positive and negative. Okay, something to keep in mind. All right, let's have a look at some examples together. First one says, give the coordinates of A, B, C, and D. So I'm going to go up to A here, and I'm going to go, okay, here's a point. What's its x value? Well, it's got an x value of 2. And what's its y value? Well, its y value, if I go this way, is 5. Okay, so how did I do that? Well, here's my point. I went down to the x value of 2, and I went across to the x value of 5. So my coordinate is 2, 5. Coordinates of B then, well, going up from here, that's got an x value of 5, and going across, that's got an x value of 2. Okay, you don't always have to draw in these lines. I'm just helping you understand what's going on. For D, coordinates D, I've got the point 4 along my x, and I've actually got a 0 for my y because it doesn't go up or down, it's on the actual line. Okay, so D is 4, 0. All right, in your workbook, I want you to do these examples. So use your grids if you've got them, draw the lines in and mark the points, and then plot the points and name the shapes formed for A, B. I'll do A with you and then you can do B. Okay, so for the first one, I've got 0, 5. So I'm going to start at 0. Remember, this is 0 here. I want to also label my axes. That's X, that's Y. So at 0, 5, I've got a point. At 2, 8, I've got a point. At 7, 8, I've got a point. At 5, 5, I've got a point. And back to 0, 5. So here's what my shape looks like. And you use a ruler when you do it, please, in your book. Going across like this. And that shape to me looks like a rectangle on a slant. So I'm going to call that a parallelogram. Okay, I'd like you to copy that one in your book and then do the second one. You don't have to write the question, just do the answers, okay? All right, let's have a look at this example. It says label the coordinates or list the coordinates of C, E, and F. So C here, X first, -6, and Y is at 0. E is, well, that's -2 and that's -4, so this would be -3. So -3, and my Y value going down, it's at -2 here. You try and do the F coordinate. And then in number 2, it says list the letter names of the coordinates lying in the second quadrant. Well, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2. So I'm looking in here. In this quadrant, I've got 1 point and it's D. And C is actually on the borderline of 2, so I'm not going to write that. All right, in number 4, they ask you to do a similar thing to what we were doing before. Name the shape by joining these coordinates. Okay, so I'm going to go to -3 as a start and then -2 and put a point. -5, -4. So I'm going over here to -5 and I'm going down to -4 and I'm putting a point. Then I've got -5, 0. So that's going to be here. And then my last point is -3, 2. -3, +2, which is up here. And again, get your ruler and join up the points. And it looks like to me that we have another shape, same shape that we had before. So you can write down what that was. I'd like you to have a go at these ones in your book again. You can do them on the screen if you want to. But write down clearly what they are. So you're asked to do here 2 questions, A and B. So I've put 2 grids there for you. What are some important things we learned? Well, make sure you know what a coordinate is. In other words, it's a point. Make sure you know that X comes before Y. We learned about the number plane today. We learned about the axes. We learned about the x-axis and the y-axis, and we learnt about this point here called the origin, which is 0, 0. We learnt about the 4 quadrants. Okay, you write down anything else you can think of. And then what I'd like you to do is to have a go at exercise 3F. Again, make sure you're showing all your working, writing things down. What we did today was we learnt about the Cartesian plane or the number plane. You can find this worksheet on Connect, but please write down the heading and the example notes in your book and any key definitions. Thanks everyone, I'll see you soon. Bye.